Good workout where I am streaming live from where I started off in the pandemic in this space, and it's been going for over 5 years. We have lots of sessions, hundreds saved on my YouTube channel. I have an amazing Zoom community, so you can join me for these sessions live every week. If you'd like to join by Zoom, I have a free newsletter on my website, feelgoodwithlavina.com, which gives you all the details, and a WhatsApp group for session reminders. This workout is applicable to all ages and abilities. We do seated exercises as well. Great for anyone sitting too long. That means young to the elderly, working from home, care homes, anyone that these workouts can help. And they are all low impact. We cover everything from strength, mobility, balance, stretch, cardio, and use whatever weights you have available. You don't need fancy equipment. You could use tin cans, plastic bottles. We are going to get started with the breath exercises, what I call my breath snacks. As part of my exercise snacking, we're going to do a mindful minute, and I definitely need it today because we've had to set up very quickly, moving chairs around. So let's all take a moment just to calm the body and mind. You can use this anytime you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or stressed, or just if you want to just take a moment for yourself, a bit of self-care. So today we're going to do a really simple breath. We do different ones every week. We're going to breathe in for 4 and exhale for 6. And that means we're going to help kick in the parasympathetic nervous system to calm the body and mind. So close your eyes. I'll count you through. Just do what you can. You could place your hands on your lap, or maybe more comforting, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, trying to breathe in and out through your nose, but breathing in through your nose ideally. We're going to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep your eyes closed. Just return to your normal breath. Just have a little sense check. How do you feel? Maybe rub your hands in front of you with your eyes closed. Generate some heat in those hands and bring those hands over your closed eyes. Take a positive inhale. On the exhale, just open the eyes with your hands there. Let a little bit of light in. Just a moment of calm before we start. Breathing in again, lots of positivity. Exhale, just move the hands away. And Mummy has appeared as well. Pranam, Mummy. Lovely to see you all. I hope you enjoyed that breath snack. So we're going to start with a bit of mobility. So we're going to work from top down. I'll demonstrate everything standing. Mummy will do everything seated. We're going to start with some lovely neck circles, just circling 3 times in one direction. And we're doing this to really warm up the joints and the muscles before the main workout. Change direction, connect with your breath, just as we did in that lovely breath snack. We're going to use that deep breathing to fuel all the muscles and bring lots of oxygen in the body through the workout. We're then going to start circling our shoulders. So I'm just literally bringing my shoulders up, back and round. Nice little circles, just getting that nice and warm, and then changing direction, coming forwards. Mobility is so key. Even if you do this few minutes in your day, every day, your joints and muscles will really thank you. And then we're going to add in the arms, so just circling out forwards or backwards. Just stick to one direction first. We're keeping our core muscles, so your belly button in towards your spine through this lovely workout. Really feel that rotation. How do you feel, Mummy, today?
Good.
Good. and then coming forwards, lovely, just circling out, beautiful work. How does that feel? Nice little forward swimming. We don't give ourselves enough time for mobility, but there's so many benefits, and I do write a lot about it in my book, The Feel Good Fix, so have a little read if you've got your copies. And then we're just going to work on our spine, so we're going to have our hands behind our head. Keep your waist forward, and we're just going to rotate through the core and feeling it maybe around your back muscles, breathing out as you twist. Inhale back to the middle. Really simple movements that you can sprinkle into your day anytime you're sitting on the sofa, anytime you're working from home. We're all sitting for long periods, and then we hear about back pain, neck pain. One more on each side. Lovely work. And then we're just going to work our hips a little bit, so you can stand up if you're able to. We're going to try and circle them out, just really adding in a bit of movement. And I will show you a seated version. So mummy, you can do the circling. Or do you want to stay seated and you can just bring your torso forward. So you're just bringing your upper body, breathing in, just adding a bit of movement. How does that feel? If you're able to stand, this is a lovely one. You could even draw a little figure 8. So you could imagine an 8 shape. We're just getting everything mobile, moving. Yeah, movement is medicine, especially when it comes to areas like our hips that get really tight from our sedentary lifestyles with technology. How does that feel? Maybe change direction. Good. You could just put a bit of your favorite music on and dance around the kitchen and move your hips when you're cooking. This would be a nice little way to boost your energy and release some of those feel-good endorphins with a bit of music and relax. Seated or standing, I'll show you the standing version, but you're going to have a bit of support. So mummy, if you hold on to the chair, we're going to do hip circles. So this is adding in a bit of balance if you're able to stand. These workouts are for all ages and abilities. I've had people from care homes that may not be able to stand, so I'm going to show you a seated version. I even have people when I do my workplace wellness talks, I go into companies and organizations. If they're stuck on their Zoom and computers all day, you could add in a few of these hip circles just seated. And the trick with this one, you can have a little pause, is to keep everything still. So you're really isolating, targeting those muscle groups. If you're moving your body, you're not going to feel it as much. So we really want to keep everything from your waist and your back nice and still. Change direction for me. If you're balancing, please make sure you've got a wall or a fixed object for support. We don't want anyone falling over. Can you feel that? And relax. Good. Let's change on the other side. I'm really feeling these seated, and I know I love doing these standing. I've obviously been practicing balancing on one leg when I brush my teeth. You know, I always go on about those balance snacks to reduce our risks of sports, you know, paddle tennis, all of those things, they require balance and stability. But so do our just day-to-day lives. So we're practicing our balance is such a key factor for longevity. How does that feel? So now we should have everything a little bit warmer. We're going to add in a bit of marching while I talk you through today's workout. So we're going to move through all of the key areas that I like to cover. Strength, cardio, stretch, mobility and balance. We're going to bring it all together with a big circuit. We're going to start actually with our lower body, our king of strength exercises, our sit and stands or our squats as I call them. But we are first going to just all practice a little bit of, so have a seat because I feel like we should warm these muscles up just a bit more before we go into them. And this is a great exercise you can do anywhere. Just extending that leg. I want you to hold out. I want you to really hold and feel your muscles. So place your hands on your quadriceps, your front thighs. Think about engaging that mind to muscle connection. Can you feel those, mummy, as you're holding? Squeeze. So we want to build muscle strength because strength training has so many benefits. Now, this could be your level. If today you're unable to stand, if you're stuck at your desk, you could add in leg extensions. One other more progressive way is to bring your knee up towards you and then lengthen out. And we've also, if you have a resistance band, I'm just going to show you this version. This is a good one for everyone to do before we do our hands or squats, is to maybe, if you've got a band or some tight, something with a bit of stretch, you don't have to have this, is to then keep your hands back straight, try and keep your hands close to you, and bend your knee in towards your chest, mummy, so bend, and then you're going to push the foot away. So I've not moved my hands, I'm getting the resistance with my leg. So this one is a really good one. You could do any time of the day. So find your version and let's do 5 or 10 on each leg. So mummy's doing them with the band. I'm going to remind you that you could do them without the band. You could add a hold in, breathing in and out, core tight, back straight. I want you to focus on these muscles and we're warming them up before I get you into this big circuit today. Really extend using that band, keeping your hands, you're pushing that foot away, lengthening and release. Oh, I did about 8 there and I could feel those. Did you feel that? You did them very well. And maybe the other side with or without the band. So here, I'm not moving my hands. I'm using that resistance. You can make it easier by holding it, obviously, with a lot more length in the band, or you can hold it shorter, so it's much harder. These bands are a very good investment. They're very cheap to get online, but they really do start working the muscles. So if that's something you want to buy, please do, but you know you don't need fancy equipment. You can do it without, maybe just adding in that, really feeling that tension. So let's start with our sit and stands. That was level 1. If anyone can't stand, please carry on with leg extensions. For the next level up, we have the chair as support for these. Our feet are just over shoulder width. Your knees are always going to go out. They never come towards each other. In line with your toes, these leg muscles, because this is what's going to keep us strong for life, yeah? We really want to build strength in our legs. Inhale, exhale. If you're able to stand, mummy and I will just come all the way up. Knees are going out in line with the toes. I can see my toes. Have a little check. As I go up and down, I'm squeezing my glute muscles. I'm keeping my core tight. My back is straight. There's a lot going on to perfect these, to make sure it's good form and technique. Breathing out. We're just standing, but I want you to know how important this movement is. This is to keep us able, ideally, to stand up ourselves for as long as possible, yeah? All the times we stand, on and off the toilet, getting out of bed, getting out of the car. Literally, we are sitting and standing and we just forget. Chair, just a normal sit and stand. But imagine when you're in your 80s and 90s, which I have got amazing people right now live with me on Zoom that are over the age of 60, 70, that are really doing this regularly. This is the best snack. If you can sprinkle this, just 10 of these every day, I would be happy. The more the better, but just start off with 10. How does that feel? Good? We are then going to go from lower body to upper body. So we've now got... No, we're fine. So we're going to do press-ups now, mummy, against the wall. So we're back in our old space. I'm just going to check that everyone can see you, mummy. I'm going to adjust the camera. So I will show you a seated version of press-ups. But if you have a wall and you're able to stand, this is the best way. So mummy, I'm going to just correct your form a little bit. So we can see from the side now, because mummy does it a different way, so this is a good test. I want your back really nice and straight. So try not to have your hands wide, mummy. Go back to wide. And now come towards the wall in a straight line. Good. Inhale, relax your shoulders. and exhale. So what you want to try and do eventually is move this body. There we go. Core tight and coming back. And try when you're coming back to keep that body straight. Inhale, exhale, so that you're not then pushing your bum back and getting that break in your back. So it's really a straight line. Literally like a straight line moving in, breathing out. We're bending the arms. The seated version, do about 10 or 12. Seated version I'll demonstrate here is pushing against and bending the arms, pushing away. We want to build upper body strength. This is working your stomach, your core, your back. Press-ups are probably the best compound movement. How does that feel, Mummy? Good or hard? Good. Yeah, good, lovely. So I will show you slightly what you're doing, Mummy, just to correct you slightly, which is a little bit harder. I would say even go closer. So Mummy, just watch my body. You know when you're coming here, so I'm emphasizing, she's not doing it as much. If you're restricting your movement, you could go on your tiptoes and you could try and bring your waist a little bit forward and straight back. So we're not bending. You weren't bending much. I felt like you weren't bringing your hips towards the wall as much. But I don't know if you feel comfortable on your tiptoes. That's just something you could practice. Against the kitchen counter when you're cooking is a great one. So keep going, whether you're seated or standing. And if you're able to stand, please stand. Yeah, that I can see my mum on Zoom. Try and get a few in against the wall if you can today, because the wall is going to obviously much better. Really good. Just keep practicing these press-up. When you've done about 10 or 12 and you're waiting for me, your active recovery today could be a bit of boxing. So you're just going to add in these cardio snacks while Mummy finishes off. You're going to just march on the spot. You could go faster, you could go slow, or you could even do these seated, just boxing it out. We're going to add this boxing in a minute. So Mummy, that's enough press up. She's done a whole load. Well done. You must have done at least 20. Do you feel it? Yeah. Do you feel it on your upper body? Practice the press up. So with our boxing, you could add some tin cans. You could add some light weights. Have you got some little tin cans there? You use these and I'll use those, because those are 2 kgs. Those are going to be very hard. Even though they're matching your lovely outfit, that's going to be a bit tricky. I usually have tin cans, but we've had to move space last minute today because of Wi-Fi issues. So with your boxing, let's try and get in about 10 seconds at your fastest or your best effort, punching away any worries, tension, anxiety, stress. Shall we count them down? 10, 9, everybody count with us. 7, 6, are you counting? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. So did you know that when you're walking, when you're moving, if you are talking, if you're listening to a podcast, that is going to really keep your brain even fitter, because you're doing 2. So I often say to count down with us, but I want you to keep your brains fit as well. So just shoulder roll, just let everything go here. We could add a few little swings side to side. Just let everything go, because your heart rate might be high. So just take some deep breaths in between. As we move to the next exercise today, I've got a whole long list of exercises that I'm getting you through. We're going to work from our upper body, big compound move, that press up, to a shoulder press. I'm doing it without any weights, just to remind you of the good form here, that we have our hands by our ears. We're going to hold our weights, so that could be tin cans or some dumbbells or even plastic bottles. We're pushing up, and because they're free weights, if you could see yourself in the mirror, I'd love you to check if they're nice and symmetrical, because I can see lots of you on Zoom. Sometimes we're a little bit more dominant on one arm. It could feel a little bit lopsided. So it's a good time to always check, and we're going to bring them down, breathing out. We're not swinging our body, we're keeping our back straight, our core tight, and relax for a second. We're going to add in some weight, because I think some of you have already got your weights. If you haven't got your weight, here you go, Mummy, do you want to use these? These are better, because these you can manage. So I've pushed her a little bit there to make sure she doesn't go down in weight. We want to, over time, increase your weight. Think about what you've been using. Let's go for 10, but if you've been on the same weight, maybe you've been doing my workouts for a few years or months, think about increasing your weight, because that's how your muscles are going to build. They're going to get strong, and we want muscle mass. That is the key for longevity, to help soak up excess sugar in the blood, so glucose, so helping with type 2 diabetes, to helping with just our insulin sensitivity, to help us keep strong. Are we counting? I think I've got about 3 more. Good. 9. Breathe out. Breathe in. Do what you can. And 10. Now I've moved up weight myself there from my other studio, so I really felt those. And I want you to think about, was that the last 3 repetitions? Tell me now, did you feel the last 3 repetitions with that weight? Yes? If it's like, I'm not sure, then I really think that's a good sign that you need to try and increase weight. If you can't increase weight, say you haven't got any, plastic bottles, maybe you could fill them up with something heavier like some rice or some sand or something if you haven't got dumbbells. But if you can't, say you're on holiday, you could use tin cans but go really slowly. We could change the tempo. You could have added on a few more repetitions. Yeah, if you think that 10 repetitions is not enough, maybe you want to do 12 or 15. So I'm just giving you ideas of what you can do, and I'm also giving you a little break here while we just focus now on our biceps. So we're working different muscle groups, important shoulders to help us lift, put things up ourselves, the suitcase overhead, picking things up from shelves. Now we're going to work our biceps. So we're going to have, again, I'm showing you with no weights, desk reset snack, as in my book, which is up, back, and down. So really getting, and then you're going to have your elbows in towards your body, and we're going to curl the weight up towards you. You see this muscle that we're squeezing here? That's our bicep that's going to help us pick up our shopping bags, lift things, help with our cooking, our day-to-day functional movement. So you could do this seated or standing. Pick another weight, palms are facing outwards, and keeping your wrist straight to your forearm. We're going to lift, curl, breathe out, breathe in. Now on the way down, go nice and slow. Good. Breathing out, breathing in. We're working lots of different muscles to keep us strong. And hopefully we are about 20 minutes into our workout, over 25 minutes. Hopefully you'll be feeling a little bit happier. Do you feel a bit of change in your mood? Because those are the magical endorphins that get released. There's things called myokines that we release, natural proteins when we're using our muscles. It's the movement of the muscles, and they're called hope molecules. They're like antidepressants. There's so much science behind the amazing effect of movement. So I hope you're feeling a little bit happier right now. Give me a smile. I know it can be hard. Mummy, what are we on? Do you know? 9. Let's add in one extra bonus one if you can. And release. I hope we did about 10 to 12 there. Again, have a little think. Did you feel that? I felt that, but maybe you're adding in a few more repetitions like Vinu Uncle did on Zoom, which is very good. Quick little release of our biceps. You could march it out as well. So we're adding a few stretches today in between our little exercises. But if you're tired, please rest. I'm just pulling my straight arm, my hands on those palms, bringing the fingertips down towards the ground. And I'm just adding in a few steps as well. Maybe give me a few little circles with both arms this time. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we are going to go into a seated exercise, all of us, because I want us to add in our heel raises, because you know I'm always going on about little exercise snacks. This is an important one. You could do standing, but I would prefer, if you have a little challenge with balance, we're going to try and do seated ones where we're going to bring out our weight out to the side as well as lifting the heels. So it would probably be much safer if we all sit down. You can start adding in those heel raises. If you're tired, even putting these weights on my legs and then lifting up and down the heels adds a bit more extra resistance to these heel raises. And the soleus muscle is brilliant at absorbing excess blood sugar. I will just make sure all my participants are on mute, on Zoom, sorry, there we go, a little bit of interference. So let's go for, we're going to be doing side raises as the heels come up and bring it down. It's too heavy, so you pass me those, because these are too heavy for me. For this one, tin cans are perfect. So that's a nice 1 kg, mummy. Let's try that. So shoulders relaxed. Come to the edge of your seat, just heels up and down, and we're going to bring the arms straight out to the side and slow it down. It's a nice one to do with the heel raises because we can coordinate upper and lower. How does that feel? Breathe out. You could add a hold in at the top and down. Adding that hold is going to make it a little bit harder. I feel like we're flying like lovely little birds here. Breathe out and in. Good work, everyone. Couple more, or until you start feeling it. 7. Good. Count for me, mummy. Lovely work. How do these feel? Focus on your muscles. We're getting strong. Body and mind. And 10. Well done. Did we feel that? Okay, brilliant work. So we've got a couple of options here for the next exercise. We're going to try them without weights first, and we could do it seated or standing. So we're going to have our hands up, and we're going to bring our knees up towards our chest, high knees. Now I want you to do this if you're standing, obviously have a wall near you. I don't want anyone falling over. You're going to try and balance if you're standing. Think about these stomach muscles here. As you lift the knee, really keep your belly button in towards your spine and tighten, especially this lower abdominal area. The hardest area, I feel, especially for women. So if you want to, you could add in your tin cans or your little weights. We're going to hold them up. And we're working our core. If you're standing, you're working your balance as well. And we're going to slowly lift up. Breathe out and breathe in as you replace. So really exhaling, squeezing your stomach muscles. Go slow. Relax your shoulders if your arms are up. Really feel it. I want you to go slow and visualize your stomach muscles working hard here. Now your arms are up as well, which makes it a nice little challenge. Can you feel that? Well done. Keep going. We're going to go a little bit longer, mummy, just to feel this one if you can. You've got your weights. Well done. Well done. Good. 5, 4. If you need to stop, please stop. 3, 2, and 1. How did that feel? Hard? Yeah. I've given you 1 kg, so mummy, well done. You have sneakily progressed with weights, high five, because we had to move rooms, but well done. She's smiling, so I'm going to take that as a very good sign. We're going to use our band. We are shoulder flossing, not at the beginning how we usually do, but now after we've worked our muscles. This is going to feel quite different, I think. Seated or standing, belt or band or tights, up and over as far as you can go. Do not worry if you can't go all the way around. Just go to your range of movement. Try and keep everything nice and symmetrical. And if you need to bend the arms, please do. So everyone's backs are tight and rounded. I mean, from young people, I don't know if you see this rounding when we're looking down at our laptops. We are sitting with technology too long in our day, so this is probably the most important exercise that I think we can do when we're watching TV, sitting at our desks. I try and do this first thing every morning now after I brush my teeth. I have a little snack that I do in the mornings because life is really busy, as always with everyone. But I know just by flossing my shoulders, getting that full range of movement in my shoulders, and I do suffer sometimes for a little bit of shoulder pain when I'm sleeping. I think that's to do with menopause. So this one has really helped loosen things up in the morning when I wake up. Inhale, exhale. Mummy, how does this feel? A little bit harder than usual because we've worked? Good. I was thinking you're all flossing away, finding it easy now on Zoom. Well done, YouTube and Zoom. You're doing really, really well. So march it out, have a little shake, have a little dance. I am talking at a big conference tomorrow, which is all about lifestyle medicine, and it's a lot of doctors, healthcares, the top US surgeon that has worked with the government and the presidents came over for a talk, and Angela Rippon did a big session on dance and movement and walking and all the things that I love. And tomorrow I will be getting everyone exercise snacking in the Queen Elizabeth II Exhibition Centre in Westminster. So a bit of dancing is great. Now we don't have music, but let's just have a little dance. Mummy, you can stand up. Are you going to just have a little movement with me? Come on, she's feeling just a little bit of fun. If you've got a partner, I'm going to turn you in. Woo! Have a little dance in our break here. I know we haven't got music, but imagine your favorite song. Managed it. Yay. Have a little bit of fun and relax. Good. So I challenge you today for homework. Could you put on your favorite song and for 3 or 4 minutes, the length of the song, just dance? It is so uplifting. Vinu uncle, you've got some amazing moves. Well done, Andrew. Taruna auntie, I can see lots of you. My mum is dancing away. Sonal is in her garden. Varsha, you are dancing too. Relax, everyone. So I just giving you a bit of fun homework this week to do some dancing in your own time. The last one we're going to do for our upper body today is I'm showing you again without weights. Imagine I have got a protractor, checking 90 degrees here. So your elbows are as high as your shoulders. Your wrists are directly above your elbows. Have a little check if you can. And then we're going to squeeze in and out. But they come back here. And if you're holding weights, you want to make sure that everything is nice and straight. So nothing's curling in or out. And we're squeezing, we're working our chest muscles to help again with strengthening that upper body and preventing that rounding in the back. So let's grab some light weights to start off with. And then this session is saved for you with all the couple of hundred that are saved. I would love you to come back to this and do this again in the week. 2 or 3 strength training sessions a week will hit the government guideline. And if you can't, you snack on as many exercises as you can through the day, because that's as effective, if not more effective, than this long workout that we do. And sometimes I know it's hard to fit into our busy schedules. So the fact that you're here doing this with me once a week is brilliant. If you could increase that to 2 or 3 times a week using my saved sessions on YouTube, I would be so happy. And drop me a message when you do. How many is that? I can feel this. 2. And last one. Ooh, I'm hoping you felt that. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Keep your weights just for one last little variation to our bicep curl, something I've been adding in myself. So we normally move upwards here. I'm going to ask you to move your hands, keeping your elbows by your side, glued to your body, your hands further away. So now they're sort of facing outwards, good. And now we're going to curl. And I don't know if you can see, but it's these muscles here. It's a slightly different angle, but we're just going to add a few more bicep curls in. This is a little wider curl. Does that feel okay? Good, lovely. Breathing out, breathing in as you come down, nice and slow. Take your time, especially if you've got light weights. I want you to really feel it. So the slower you go, the more you're going to feel that time under tension for the muscles. Exhale, inhale, super work. Last one, and relax. How are we feeling? We've done a lot with our muscles, especially our upper body, that I do feel we need to add in one last set of sit and stands, ideally with some weight. Because we did one set, but because these are so important, I would love you to increase the weight. Go a bit heavier, wear a rucksack if you can, if you've got a bag. Obviously use the chair, and if you can't stand, you are back to your leg extensions. You could hold a weight and then extend the leg in and out. Otherwise, get ready for your positioning, making sure everything is set up correctly. Knees going out in line with your toes, standing up, squeezing up and down. Now, for those that don't need the chair, these are mimicking the squat. I always use the chair with these workouts, but I'm going to show you, obviously you can go a little bit lower as you progress. If you're standing and you're able to do it without the chair behind, you still imagine that chair, but in time you can go nice and low and squeeze up. So this is a good, really more advanced progression to the squat that I just want to show you today. Inhale, exhale. You could just do these body weight to start off with. Yeah, but this is for those that don't have the chair or are ready for a bit of a challenge to really work those muscles a bit more. You're going as low as you can. Body stays upright, squeeze the glutes coming up. Back nice and straight. Big smiles. Are you counting, Mummy? No?
6, I think.
6? Do you think we're on 6? I think she's going nice and slow. If you're tired, do stop. If you want to add in a last little shoulder press at the top for the last 2 or 3, let's do that. So down. Hold your trophies. We're nearly there. Exhale. Shoulder press, so it's more of a full body move. Squat and press. Last one, everyone. You've done super well. And relax. How are you feeling, Mummy? Well done. So check in. Is your heart rate high like mine? Yes? I can see some of you nodding. That is the beauty of strength training. Just give everything a little shake out and some deep breaths, because you are getting to that same level as you would on a brisk walk or maybe even a jog, but we are burning fat but building that lean muscle mass, which is going to really future-proof our bodies and help with so many health benefits. So, last one we're going to do is a little bit of star jumps, because I know that's your favorite. So, Mummy, you can demonstrate the seated version. We're not jumping in this workout, especially for anyone that has osteoarthritis. Obviously, jumping is great if you want to build your bones If you do have any conditions like osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, do consult your healthcare professional. So we keep these workouts low impact for a reason, but we can still get a little bit of cardio. So that last bit of energy that you've got today, I'm doing them standing. I can go nice and fast. I want you to give yourselves a clap. So that full range of movement in the upper body. 10. Count with me. 9. This is your countdown. 8. 7. Woo. 6. You go any faster. 4. Clap yourself. You're all stars. 2. And 1. Big round of applause. Give yourselves a big clap because you've done a lot today with me. I hope you're feeling good. Are we feeling out of 10? 0 is I feel awful. 10 is I'm feeling really proud of myself and happy. Is it a 10, everyone, on Zoom and YouTube? Give me a number, even if it's an 8 or a 9. How do you feel? 7 out of happiness. Happiness. How do you feel today in terms of making it here, even in your busy lives? I hope you give yourselves a 10 because I'm meaning not your effort, Mum. She's given herself a 7. I'm saying you turned up and how happy and proud of your bodies do you feel? I hope that's a 10 out of 10. Good. There we go. So we're going to stretch, everyone. This is a very important part of my Feel Good Fitness prescription because you know we want to reduce risks of injuries. We want to bring that heart rate down. We want to reduce any muscle soreness. We've worked a lot of muscles and groups today. So we're going to have one leg out, nice and straight, flexing your toes towards you. You're going to reach your arms up, get a lovely bit of lengthening in your spine. Inhale there and exhale, bringing your chest towards your thigh. Maybe placing your hands on your toes. Do not worry if you can't reach. Or on your shin or knee. Relax the shoulders and just take a couple of deep breaths. I want you to feel that stretch from the top of your leg at the back, running down your hamstring, down your calf muscles, all the way, just lengthening them out to increase flexibility and mainly reduce any risk of injury from this session. And it's just such a nice way to add in a bit of self-care. So at night, before you go to bed, on the sofa, even in the day, you could add a little simple stretch. Let's do the other side. And even this is going to be so beneficial for your long-term health. Breathing in and out, relax the shoulders, having a moment to yourself and clearing your mind, just focusing on your health is so good. Well done. So we're just going to move from lower body to upper body, hands behind your back if you've got space, otherwise if you can stand up. And from here, straighten up, bring those elbows back and together. So you're opening out the chest muscles that get rounded all the time when we're sitting and curving our spine. We're opening, just looking forward, smile. So proud of you. You should be super, super proud of yourselves for joining today. And then our shoulders, we've done a lot. So one hand out in front of you, other hand above or below the elbow, and just draw that arm in towards your body, looking over that shoulder, stretching out your neck, breathing here. Inhale, exhale. So back to our breathing like we did at the beginning. Really good, lovely release. And there's a lot more stretches. There's lots of my playlists on YouTube. There's lots of videos linked as well that you can add in a bit of a stretch snack through your day. And release, beautiful work. We are going to do a feel-good hug because that is like the best one. Opening out, breathing positivity, seated or standing. I want you to then exhale, round your back. Give yourselves a big hug, but really curve your back, opening out the vertebra. Give yourself a big hug. You're amazing. Me and Mummy are going to hug each other, but we're sending you another one to give yourselves a big hug, or if there's someone near you, do give them a bit of love as well. That love hormone, well done. Oxytocin is so important. Should we do one final stretch, just seated for our lower body? Because I feel like we've done quite a lot today. We're going to hug the knee in towards our chest. I try and do this in bed in the mornings. I don't know if any of you try and do a little snack in bed. I just give myself a few stretches before I jump out, and I'm rotating my ankle. But lying down, this is a nice one. Have you tried this lying down, hugging the knee in? No? You can try this maybe later. Yes, in your exercise. You're rotating, yep. So I do a little spinal twist as well in bed if I can, if I'm feeling a little bit tight, but you're just thinking of ways that you can build this in to your day without it being any effort. You just do it in bed before you get up and relax. Super well done. And then we have got our feel good finish. I hope you're feeling better. If you can stand up or seated, we're going to take a big positive inhale as we reach those arms up. Inhaling positivity, exhale, bring them down, release any tension, anxiety, stress. I hope it feels like it's all gone. Could you do one in Gujarati for us, Mummy? Super work. And one final one. Big positive inhale. Capture that positivity at the top. Hands together. Bring it down to your heart center. Close your eyes. Take a moment before we rush off to really thank your amazing body. I'm super proud of you. Say thank you for the ability to move. Whatever you manage to do today, it is better than nothing. Every minute counts. We do have workouts saved in Gujarati on YouTube as well, if that helps any of the South Asian community, the family members. One favor before you go, could you send this workout to a loved one? Could you share my YouTube channel? I would really, really love you to. Just help one more person a day, that ripple effect. Whenever you do this, do drop me a comment, especially on YouTube. Well done. Keep going. Keep adding in exercise snacks and feel good workouts. And I will see you all next week for another live session. I'm going to say hello to my Zoom community quickly. If you'd like to join on Zoom, all the details are on my newsletter. It's free. It's on my website, feelgoodwithlavina.com. I'm going to save YouTube. Well done, everyone. Say bye, Mummy. Bye, bye, bye.